So the apocalypse is here, let's talk about plants. So, I wanted to make a video today, obviously, and there has been two things I want to do. This Monstera video, where I show you my Monstera collection, and a video about my philodendron squamiferium ghost thing going on. I have no idea what it is, but I'm gonna make another video of that, I think, for another time. But today people voted for my Monstera collection, so here we are. And since it's apparently a trend for plant YouTubers to drink some sort of beverage while making videos, here I am with a glass of apple juice. Very kids friendly. Okay, so let's start. So I'm going to go through all my Monsteras. I have started to collect them, but I don't have that many rare ones, as you can see, but I have a bunch. And I'm looking for more, of course. If you want to sell me more, hook a bitch up. I'm gonna go from like sort of least rare to most rare. And yeah. A quick side note to this video, there will be a lot of plants that are less than photogenic, so to speak. Like there are some that aren't that pretty at the moment, and that's just, as you know how life are with plants. Sometimes they are luscious and beautiful, and sometimes they are being little bitches about everything. So yeah, you're gonna see the beautiful and the ugly ones today. Yay! Okay, let's start off. I'm gonna start off with the most common one, and it's this guy. This is, I have actually two of these. This is my Monstera borsigiana. I think all of these cuttings, there are like, I have two pots like this with a shitload of cuttings. So yeah, and I actually really like this one. It has really like nice big leaves for being such a small plant, and it's getting fenestration now. Slowly but surely. Yeah. Also, fun fact, there we go. I have a small piece of variegation on it, on one of the leaves. It's not in the stem, so therefore it won't spread to any other leaf, but it's kind of fun to have a small dab of variegation here as well. So yeah, I'm gonna place all my plants behind me, and hopefully they will all fit. I don't think so, but I'm gonna try. So this is also a Monstera borsigiana, but a different one. It's a variegated Monstera borsigiana. And it's actually on this pedestal kind of thing, so therefore it's just gonna stand here for now. So yes, this is 3 cuttings of my Monstera borsigiana. Variegata. Ooh, that's not good. That's fine. And I have 2 of these as well. One is like way too like crammed into a corner for me to take it out, so therefore I'm just gonna show you this one. And it's like, it's not super variegated, it doesn't have like these super white leaves, but it has some like nice ones. I like that one and that one, I like all of them actually. And they have a pretty good variegation, a healthy variegation. So I have actually had none leaves brown, like no leaf has been browning, so that's really nice. And it's growing and looking pretty good. It's 3 cuttings and that I bought separately and just shoved into the same pot, and when I got them there were just 1 leaf on each, so I've had this for about 1 year and it's pretty big. Next one is this guy, and this is actually a cutting that I got quite recently, and when I got it it was just this leaf, which it looked kind of fine, but it's been browning a bit and stuff like that, and didn't have the best time in transit. And this is a new leaf that just came a couple of days ago. The fuck is that? Don't think it's anything to worry about. Or maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I think it's fine. Question mark? Exclamation mark? Anyways. So this is a Monstera deliciosa. And if you wonder what's the difference between this guy and that guy, This one is the one that gets these huge, massive, like fenestrated leaves with a shitload of holes, and this is actually the dwarf kind. And yes, this looks way bigger than this one, but it's just the cutting, so hopefully one day it's gonna have these massive petals, massive leaves and everything. So I'm super excited about this cutting. I was very, very happy when I got it. I kind of think it looks sort of very artsy and neat at the same time, so I do really like it. So Monstera deliciosa. Oop. Let's see here. Oh, right. So here's one less pretty plant. It's getting there, it's getting there. So this is my Thai constellation, which is, I think it's a Monstera borsigiana Thai constellation, but I'm not sure. Time will tell, as you know. And this is the one that has this sort of yellowish variegation, and also like the constellation splatters, almost like paint splattering. So these two leaves has grown since I got it, and these two were the ones that I bought it with, and they have all been like, I don't know, they have all been browning. All of this was white before, and this had like, I don't know, weird yellow spots that were all of a sudden starting to spread. So I decided to just like cut them off and pretend like it's fenestration, because it's Monstera, you know. So yes, Monstera Thai constellation. Whoop, whoop. Okay, now we're getting to like a gray zone of what's rare and what's not rare. So first off, we have my precious monkey mask, Monstera adansonii. And I love this actually quite a lot. It's getting like quite big leaves, like they are quite big in comparison. I always get surprised like when, like if I see a leaf on a photo it doesn't look that big, but in person it looks really big. So it has really like big nice holes and everything. It's been facing, like the window is on that side, but the moss pole is on this side, so it's kind of hard to show it from a good angle because there aren't really that many good angles. So I've had problems with this yellowing. There were a bunch of leaves down here that were not yellow and then yellows that I removed because I was getting worried. And I kind of don't know what's the problem really. I water it, I let it dry out, it has nutrients, it has sunlight, a low amount of sunlight, a high humidity. It might be a bit cold, but I don't think it should be a problem because it's been growing like crazy during the whole winter, so I don't know why it's getting yellow, but I think it might be a water problem. I read somewhere that Monstera adansonii needs way more water than you might think in comparison to other Monsteras. So I'm trying that now, and so far nothing else has been yellowing, so that's a good sign at least. Not at all stressful. Actually, one of the more picky Monsteras that I have had. Okay, I had to block out the light yet again, because the sun is like turning towards me now. Anyways, moving on. So this guy is gonna look very anticlimactic. See the moss pole? Let's follow the moss pole. There's a plant! Okay, so story time. This is my Monstera adansonii narrow form. There you can see the leaves, it's super heavy. I just watered it, so it's like weighs a ton. And it was huge. It covered the whole pole, and it looked really nice, except for the fact that it didn't look that nice. So I had problems with it during the winter, where like there was this section that didn't get like, I mean like the plant didn't get enough light during the winter time, so therefore it only grew like juvenile leaves. So there were like adult leaf, and then juvenile leaves, and then adult leaves after that. So it looked really, really weird, and I just didn't know what to do with it. And it was very whiny, like it had a lot of vines down here, and it just looked a bit like scrappy and stuff. So I said, fuck it, I'll just chop it all down. So I just chopped all of it down. Now it's just like stumps and some old leaves left. And I have a shitload of small Monstera adansonii narrow form plants that are now propagating, and I think I'm gonna have like 8 of them or something, and they are doing really well, and they have a lot of roots and are like shooting out new shoots, so that's kind of nice. And also, I'm gonna see if I can show you this. It's so fucking heavy. Ah, there you go. It's also popping out shoots. So it's gonna do fine. Monstera adansonii narrow form. Also, quite anticlimactic. Monstera castellanum, SP Peru. It has this huge stick. It's just because it has like this stolon that just grew like crazy, and I was just getting tired of it being all over the place, so I was just like, fuck it, I'll just chop a stick down into the pot and just trail it. So that's that. Here's the plant. It's actually being sort of thankful. It has one yellow leaf that I'm gonna remove later on. I'm just gonna pretend like it's variegation for now. Super classy. So this is the Monstera castellanum. It's not more than this really. It's a plant that is getting very common now in Sweden, and yeah, it's quite like, it has like a lot of shoots in this pot actually. I should probably replant it quite soon. It has like 5 shoots in this that are like popping up all over the place that needs space, so I'm gonna replant this quite soon. I'm gonna place these somewhere there. No, fuck that. It's not gonna. Yeah. Oh, it's so. The fucking stick is. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Like it was made for it. Okay, moving on. Yet another plant that might look a bit anticlimactic. So this is my Monstera partita, and it's sort of the one that looks like a palm, like palm leaves when it's getting older. And this guy is like, I like it, but it's a big diva. I have it under a grow light, and it's actually yellowed the leaves quite a bit. It looks very yellow on the screen. It's not that yellow, but it's not the best of times. Anywho, sis, so I have this guy under a grow light, like close to the humidifier and everything, and I don't know, it was way bigger before. It had actually like a moss pole here where it was climbing up, but it grew during winter time here in Sweden, and it's so fucking dark, so it only puts out juvenile leaves, and I really want those thick leaves, the big boy leaves. So I didn't know what to do. I didn't want it to be like juvenile, and then adult, because it's just gonna be like super wobbly and wanky. So I decided to also chop this guy down, so now I have a shitload of these propagating. And it did have some leaves with some sort of nice fenestration. Now I only think it's this leaf with fenestration, the rest are like juvenile. And the annoying part is that it still hasn't given me a new shoot, so I'm sort of nervous and hoping it won't die. Fingers crossed, I guess. So now I think I have 4 more Monsteras and then we're done. So, okay, I'm gonna show you the bottom of the barrel now. This is the bottom of the barrel. And you're probably not gonna be able to see this, guys, but just take it for what it is. This is my Monstera stanleyana variegata. I think it's like Monstera cobra or something like that it's called sometimes. And this is it. The glamorous life of a plant person. So these are 3 cuttings, believe it or not, that didn't do jack shit for half a year. Absolutely nothing. They sort of ish wilted slowly but surely. They gave me no roots, no growth, no shoots, nothing. And I was like, fuck these guys. I know I wanted to collect Monsteras, but fuck these guys. I do not have the energy or time for bullshit cuttings like this. So this was my last chance, like last try. So I put a lot of like aeroid soil and a shitload of water, just like put it in here, dropped it in my herbitol, and just like ignored it for about like 4 months or something like that. And now it's growing. It actually has roots going. I don't know if you can. It has 1 root, like the brown thing going down there. That's a root, and it has a new leaf. And this is the. Let's see if I can. Where the fuck is that guy? It's that guy. There you go. That's the new leaf. It's a tiny leaf. It has variegation, so that's cool. And it has 2 shoots, which actually are popping out new leaves as well. So I'm getting more and more hopeful with this guy. Has it been worth it? Not really sure. I hate these guys but it's finally doing something, so yay, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, fuck I know. Now we're actually moving into the tiny baby section. This is also gonna look like a hot mess, and I'm gonna explain why. This is my Monstera dubia, there you can see it. I have a cutting there and a cutting there, so they're sort of growing in the same pot. That's why this weird organization, but there you can see the plant. It hasn't really stuck to the board yet, but it's just a question of time. So the reason why I have it like this is because these are actually 3 cuttings from my mother plant, and I don't know if you can see that, but behind me there is like a big glass terrarium, and in that I have 2 big Monstera dubia that are growing up a long board. So I'm hoping for a bit more adult leaves later on, and these 3 are just cuttings from that one, so that's why. And I don't want to like move that terrarium, it's just way too heavy and it has lights and shit, and like fuck that. Monstera siltepecana. This one is the worst one of them all. This guy is the worst of the bunch. It's an absolute diva. It gets yellow and brown tips from, fuck do I know? I know that it gets brown tips from like touching stuff. If like the leaf is lying on the pot like this guy, it's gonna brown. It's getting yellow and getting brown. It's gonna be a bitch. I keep this in like well shaded terrarium thing in my herbitol, and it gets high humidity, like 90% humidity, like 30 Celsius, and like a nice low aeroid light situation going on. And it's just like, I don't know, it is growing. It put out, like all of these leaves are like grown here, obviously. And it's put out that fucking pathetic version of a leaf. Like what is that even? I can't even snack that. Like I can't even take photos of that. Like what is that even? It's really nice looking. I mean, like for example, look at that leaf there. It's actually like a really nice leaf. It hasn't had time to brown too much yet, so that's nice. But it's like, it's such a diva. I can't even. And I'm still trying to figure this guy out. So that's that one, Monstera siltepecana. So, final plant. The one that you all have been waiting for, probably not, but I have been waiting for. Ta-da! The super expensive plant. Oh. So this is my Monstera obliqua. I'm realizing that the light in here is quite yellow. It's not, like the leaves aren't this yellow. So that's my Monstera obliqua. It has given me a new leaf without any fenestrations. It's a bit pale, but not that pale as on the camera. It's doing quite fine. I'm gonna try to shade it a bit more, I think. I think it wants a bit more shade. And it's actually shown me its first roots. So, I mean, I know it has had roots, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't put out new leaves, but this is actually the first root that has properly extended to the sides of the pot, so I can see that it's actually growing, so that's kind of nice. So it's doing its thing, and it's also pregnant. Don't know if you can see that. There we go, I think you can see that there. It's pregnant, so it's gonna get a new baby leaf. So yeah, that's that guy. And this is the first time it's been outside of the herbitol for more than like half an hour. So it's a bit worrying, but it's gonna be fine. Let's pretend like it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Is it gonna be fine? I'm not sure it's gonna be fine. Let's pretend like it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. More wine, it's fine. And that's it pretty much. So that's all my Monsteras, except for all the cuttings, but I don't have any other species as far as I know. I hope you have enjoyed this video and that it wasn't all too chatty. Take care of yourself and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!